In this video, I'm going to explain how I beat one of the most soul-draining Mario levels I've ever played. Basting Pollen is a level from the Jump Team hack Send Your Regrets to the Tsar. The entire ROM hack is incredibly difficult, but the late game in particular takes things a step further. The gimmick of this stage is that there are giant lotuses spitting fire every 28 frames, which is twice every second, mimicking a bullet hell style game. Thankfully, the visual style of the level is kept minimal, but that only helped so much after I'd spent close to 3.5 hours on this level. This video is part of a new series I've been doing, so if you'd like to see more videos in this style, then please let me know in the comments what levels or ROM hacks you'd like to see, and don't forget to like and subscribe so that I can keep making these. This entire level requires persistence, timing cues, muscle memory, and lots of dying to learn. The first jump alone is very precise, and seeing how close the fire comes to Mario on the way to the carrot platform will give you an idea of how tight the rest of the level is going to be. The jump around these concrete blocks isn't too bad because I used a run-up to gain speed for a higher jump. Most of these sections let me go at my own pace, so that's what I did to get my timing worked out. Generally, jumping or moving in the direction of the fire gives me more time, so I tried to go with the flow, so to speak. In most levels, my strategy is to figure out a way of first cycling each jump or trick, because usually that's how the level creator will work. They don't want to spend much time sitting and waiting for something to line up while they're building and testing their levels. I didn't want to spend any more time than I needed on these rotating platforms because it meant I had far more positioning to memorize, which meant a much higher chance of dying, so I found some safe windows to time my jumps. Initially, I had a lot of trouble figuring out what to do with this brown rotating platform. The fire is raining down exactly where I want to be standing. I tried a few different ideas, but the one that worked for me was taking my time and letting the platform fall slightly so that I could time a safe opening to jump through the fire in the direction it was falling. These next 4 grey platforms were done in basically the same way, but with more pressure since once I land on them, they're committed to falling. I think I found a pretty good window for these. The final obstacle is this carrot platform, which I decided to shuffle around on rather than jump. Getting the checkpoint took me roughly 1 hour. Now things get serious. The movement getting to the pipe feels really good using this pathing. Now the level is all about the lotuses firing horizontally, and this is where I started losing my mind. Most of this section requires action because sitting around will put me in the firing line. It's important that I have enough movement speed in these parts because that will make Mario jump higher and give me more time to make it safely onto each platform. Check out these hitboxes. Remember, the lotuses fire every 28 frames, which is just over twice a second. What lies on the other side of this pipe is what gave me the most trouble in the entire level. I'm sure there are better ways, but I spent a lot of time dying over and over to this section, and so I took a gamble by learning when and where to jump death by death, rather than just winging it. My play strategy is to always find consistent cues that I can use to gain progress on each and every attempt I make at a level, rather than leaving every attempt to chance. Sticking to the left side gives a lot more open space, but the platforms never felt like they were in the right place for me, and the fire was always right where I wanted Mario to be. I think seeing this section slowed down is the best way to appreciate how everything sits within the space of each jump. As you can see, I definitely cut this area pretty close. But it worked. So I finally get past the hard part and I'm faced with this. It took a few attempts of getting here to get the timing of each jump right. I had to try and find some safe parts where I wanted to jump to that would let me get higher. I could jump to the edges, but getting to the next platform from here looked pretty close to impossible. Instead, I noticed that the second platform was 5 tiles high, which Mario can make with a running jump, so I used that to make this section take 1 less precise jump than I need. The next jump was easy, it was just a matter of getting the timing right. The jump that followed took a bit of analysing. I decided to try and pause the game at the right moment to see if I could safely stand there or whether I was forced to jump again immediately. I figured it looked pretty similar to where I was already standing, and that was safe, so I eventually went for it. Almost there. To get to the top, I had to jump to the left, but if I tried to do that from below, I'd probably get sniped by the fire. so I tried jumping straight up and then immediately jumping again to the left. It worked. All that was left was for the grace of the vertical pipe gods to let me in. There was still one last obstacle at the end which I fortunately survived, but there's a pretty good chance it would have taken me all the way back to the midpoint had I have died. This level took me 3.5 hours. After staring at red flames spitting across the screen for that long, it got pretty tough to keep my eyes on everything. I also lost my mind just a little bit. Thanks for watching, and here's my winning attempts with some splicing at the end to remove all of my jump analysis.